Welcome to Lecture 1, Part B. So try to open a new Staad file so that we can start from zero. Then we are going to talk about now the next portion of your module. That one is using the Notepad. Now, as I said earlier in our discussions, Staad is actually based on a certain set of codes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create my Staad file in Notepad first. So from your module, you just follow along. You type as it is. What you see is what you type. So these ones are actually text and information that I placed in Notepad. Then in here, let's try to take a look at the different parts. Staad, this one is the space. It is specifying if it is either the space, frame, or truss or plane. Then in here, you have your start, job, and information. You can type actually the specifications in here if you like, but just leave it blank for the meantime. Now this input width, this one is actually talking about the limit of your what do you call that, of your typing of the code in Staad. So as much as possible, you that one is at a value between 79 or 72. So 79 or 72, but I stick with 79. So in here, you try to limit actually the number of codes, but for the meantime, you just follow this format as it is. Now, once you have this set of codes typed, you simply copy it, select all, then copy. Then I go to this portion of Staad. This one is your Staad editor. Now in Staad editor, if you click that one, it will open this Staad Pro Editor tab. Then it will automatically activate this screen and you have those set of commands. So I just simply delete those ones, highlight, then delete. Then Control V. Staad automatically read those commands. So in here, this joint coordinate, these ones are actually defining your nodes. So you have your node number and of course the corresponding coordinate. Familiar, 0, 0, 0. Same is true in here. So you have those different coordinate system. Member incidences, it is actually specifying the node, the member number, and of course the corresponding node that is connecting the ends of your Staad structure. So these ones are actually the node numbers. The following 5 and 7, the member number 2. The nodes at its ends are node 5 and 6, etc. So what do I do now? I simply save this setup. Then I can close it now. And automatically it will create this frame. So Staad actually relies on those set of codes in order to create the framing. Now, whenever you're going to modify now that Staad editor, if I go back to Staad editor and I change a value. So let's say from this 0, 0 coordinate, I place a value instead of 0. Let's say I place it as 1. Take note of what is going now to be the changes in my structure. Okay, so it will actually rotate or skew the arrangement of my framing because I changed the coordinate of node number 1. So you go back again to your node setup. You change that one to 0. Then save. Then it will go back to the original setup. So always take note of that. Let's go now to a structural wizard. Now instead, you can actually create your structure automatically without going to the tedious arrangement. So in here, instead of the ordinary setup, I can actually go to Open Structure Wizard. Now in Open Structure Wizard, I actually have these several options. Yeah. It will open my structure wizard. Then I can actually choose from different setups. So you have your let's say this truss arrangement, and we'll specify, let's say, the length. I can type actually the length in here. So let's say a 30-meter length, a height of, let's say, 5 meters, the width of the entire truss for this bridge system is going to be, let's say, 10 meters. That will do. Then number of bays along the length. Let's say I increase that one to 10. And number of bays along width, let's apply that one and observe the changes. So this one is now actually your framing. It will automatically create your lattice truss. Then if I save this one and import it to my Staad, okay, it will automatically place that framing inside my Staad. So let's do that again for additional other systems. Structure wizard. So let's try to do another one, but instead of truss, let's try to open structure wizard. Then finish. We're going to choose, let's say, a frame model. Let's base it on a bay frame. And let's have this one in default, but of course you can automatically change those values. Let's just try to observe. That one will automatically create your structures. So you must be familiar with the term. You must be familiar with the corresponding term. What does bay mean? Along the length. Bay is the spacing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course the height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These ones are spacing. So you have your length, your width, and of course your height. This one, of course, is referring to the corresponding parameters again. So you can change the total height. This one is the totality. This one is not the spacing per setup. So this one is the totality. So if you save this one again, and you can now actually import this one back into Staad. So you have now your three-dimensional model. Instead of doing the framing step by step, you actually have your structure and ready to go.